Hello and welcome to another video. Yesterday was a gloomy day for the internet on the European soil because the members of the European Parliament just passed a new legislation which allows the providers of the email communication services as well as messenger applications to track all your communication and report all your suspicious activity to the police. Members of the European Parliament think that this measure will help cope with child molestation, child pornography, criminality, but it's just a wishful think of theirs. They provided no hard data, no evidence that this measure will actually work. On the other hand, this law represents a major hit for the privacy of the communication on the internet, especially the privacy between you and your peers or clients. You have no guarantee now that your communication will stay closed, and in theory, I don't know like you, but I don't want my business communication or correspondence to be read by third parties. That's just one of the examples. Let's take a look now at the law itself. It's called chat control, or officially e-privacy derogation. And when we take a look at the poll of the Europeans, 72% were actually against this measure. 10% didn't know and 18% were pro this law. So based on this poll, you would think that such a law would never pass the legislation, but the opposite is actually true. Yesterday, more than 500 people, members of the European Parliament, approved chat control, with only 133 people voting against and 20 abstentions. So it's really creepy this law passed so easily, and we should really take a closer look at other laws passed in European Parliament. Now, this law already passed, the milk is spilled. What can we do to protect our privacy on the internet? Well, the first thing you could do is to change your email provider. For instance, if you use Gmail, you have no guarantees, and I personally have no trust in Google to not give your data to third party if they are forced to. There are other providers, for instance ProtonMail, which built all their business on the trust of the people. They made their business claiming that they will never share your data with third parties. So if somebody like ProtonMail shared your data with third party, actually they would suffer a major hit on their reputation. So trust issues are a huge thing, and I think you should go with the companies who have trust on the top of their priorities, really. You actually need to pay for services like ProtonMail. They have a free version, but I'm paying for the paid one. And all your communication is encrypted, safely stored somewhere in Switzerland, etc. It's a nice product, but there are others. You can do your research, Tutanota for instance, and others. Just maybe you are even more paranoid and you have very sensitive information you don't want to share with anybody besides your selective people you choose. And there is yet another solution just for you, and it's called the GPG. GPG is an open source tool which allows you to encrypt all your text communication, all your files, images, everything with your own encryption key, and only people who have the other part, the decryption key, are actually able to read the content. So if you send an encrypted file over your email, the police can actually see only that you sent something to this other person, but they are not able to see the content. Basically, it works like this. You generate a key pair. It's a public and private key. You encrypt your content with the private key, and you distribute your files or your public key to your friends. And every time they receive your content, they are able to decrypt and see the content. That's the main point. Now, you should make sure that this encryption key and decryption key never leaves your computer or your device. the safest bet is to distribute the keys in person. So when you meet with your friend or with your coworker, just bring your USB stick with you and switch USB sticks with other people's you really trust, and then you have absolute certainty that this content is visible only to those people, because you apply the offline method and you never use the internet to distribute the keys. So there was no way how anyone could capture your files or your secrets and decrypt the content. Yes, this solution is a little bit paranoid, I know. On the other hand, it's good to be prepared if things will go down the hill, and I personally want to try it out. So in the upcoming week or 2 weeks, I plan to generate my private and public keys and distribute them offline to my friends. And I know at least of one friend of mine who will do the same thing. So we'll have a hands-on experience with this. Maybe I can share my story how this all works in practice. So if you're interested, I can prepare a more in-depth video where I go into this topic. Just let me know in the comments below that you are interested, and I will think about it and I'll try to prepare some content. Thank you and see you on the next video. Bye bye.